thought I'd just share a bit of my beautiful morning walk here, here in the UK. So autumn is such a gorgeous time here. The only other time it's been so gorgeous, I think, for me is in Japan with all the different colours. So just hoping you can get a sense of the golden colours around here, and just reflecting on, I just held such a gorgeous place to hold a retreat, my wild soul calling retreat at the Ashes Centre in the Forest of Dean, and I will be posting a little bit more and you can see the magnificence of the colours there. The centre also is absolutely stunning, and I just need to share how always I feel so in gratitude for the gifts that come from these things, to be able to facilitate people dropping in out of their busy minds into their bodies, listening to the messages that are there. You know, we hold all our stories, everything's held there in ourselves. That's why when we do trauma work, it's all stored in ourselves, and we have to go into somatic release and somatic experiencing. And I call my work somatic because I have studied somatics. My MA was in dance and somatic well-being. So it's not just about trauma work, but everything is stored in our bodies. Of course, the counter-argument is, well, we've all suffered traumas. Anyway, our histories, our stories, our memories, our beliefs, conscious, unconscious beliefs, things that we imagine or think about. Oh, look at these golden leaves. You know, whatever it is, it's all there in ourselves, and it's all there in the history of our bodies. And that's why, being in our body, being able to inhabit sense and feel into our body, being able to accept our bodies is in fact so important. So on this retreat, I didn't film anyone. It didn't feel right, and some of them had clearly wanted to be in their own places. When you drop into yourself, sometimes you want to be in private places, sacred places, wild places, playful places. It doesn't mean you necessarily want them documented for public consumption, right? And I respect that. That's why often I don't pull out the camera, and I don't film. Gosh, look at this. When you're confronted, when you have the magnificence of nature around you, it makes you put everything in perspective. It makes you put your whole life in perspective. And so on this retreat, we shared some beautiful, beautiful moments. Everything about it was exquisite, I have to say. Being able to dip into the cold water, our sharings, the laughter and the joy and the light. We were an eclectic bunch. Some people had come from across the country. One guy had come in from Greece, bless you, so lovely. We were an eclectic bunch from different backgrounds, different histories, many stories, much wisdom. And so for me, just to be able to hold this space for all of this bubbling of humanity, this bubbling of unity, all the things, we may have come from different places, but we all share, commonalities of being a human, and life is a beautiful, rich tapestry of ups, downs, circles, roundabouts, zigzags. It's a dance. It's part of the dance. And what happens when we drop into our bodies to move is that we can allow what's ever been stuck there to release itself, to free up ourselves, to free our bodies. And at the same time, we listen in to deeper knowledge and wisdom that we get when we're in that place. Science has documented very well how we grow our brain. So there are things, exercises for growth, mindset and all the rest of it. And a lot of these exercises are great, and they help facilitate ideas, brainstorming sessions. But if you've been stuck sedentary in a chair all day, if you haven't been moving much, if you haven't changed your environment, and if there's no stimulation or inspiration in your environment, then the ideas, come on, they're not going to be top. They're not going to be top dog, are they? They're not going to be the best quality. We all have the ability to sense, feel, to experience, and to evolve through our bodies. And this can happen at any age. There's no age factor on it. You know, if anyone starts saying, yeah, but I'm XYZ age, I'm this, that, yeah, so so what? Is what I have to say to that. So what? You know, we all have gifts and knowledge and wisdom at every age. We have, you know, this youthful optimism when we're young, this kind of like, you know, just go for it, fearless, kind of slightly naive at times, but, you know, highly energetic energy youth. And then as we get older, we'll get a bit more battered and bruised, we have more scars, more learning curves, but then something deeper emerges, you know, deeper wisdom, perhaps a newfound patience, or just a different vision, a different, more informed perspective. Sometimes, unfortunately, a bit more jaded, but actually every experience has wisdom and lessons for us, right? So if we harness all of that, instead of thinking it as being jaded and losing hope, there's always hope. Instead of giving it hope, just harnessing the gifts in whatever it is that's happened to you to use as wisdom, then it's a win-win. You know, then age only contributes to our our sense of self. And so, yes, Wild Soul Calling was wild, soulful. It spoke to us. It was beautiful, and yes. And also, I love to work with intentional places. You know, the Asha Centre was such a stunning place that I can only go forwards from here. On that note, so yeah, a stunning retreat centre in Costa Rica has reached out to me again. A very intentional place. They're not for profit. They're not driven by money. And, you know, it would be an honour and a blessing as well to hold something there. So watch this space. In the meantime, you can also join me online. I know it's not the same, but the connection, the transformation, the power, the learnings can still be absorbed through the power of the internet. We know how powerful the internet is, right? So I'm holding a class on Wednesday, Reclaim Your Creative Freedom. It's 90 minutes, Wednesday evening. Link is in the bio, or DM me. It'd be great to see you there. You know, if you have a body that needs to be reclaimed, if you have power, courage, confidence that still needs to come from you, and if you have a voice, creativity that come home to you, come home to your body, come to the class. I'd love to meet you there.